Welcome to Blaze Radio Online, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in Las Vegas for the Pac-12 Women's Basketball Tournament with Gabby Ducharme. I'm Walker Smith for the first matchup of the quarterfinal. It's number 4 Arizona taking on number 5 seeded Colorado in the first game at noon. And Gabby, we got a good one, looking to be maybe the tightest one we see tonight.
Easily the tightest one we've seen. Colorado, emotions are running high. One of their players went down yesterday, was carried off on a stretcher right at the very end of the University of Washington versus Colorado game. It was a tight one. It was a tight one the entire way through for Colorado. Their emotions as a team running high right now. Arizona, a lot to prove. Defending national champion runner-ups, Walker. Their march to March starts today.
You're exactly right, and they're going to have to start that march without arguably their best player in Kate Reese. She is out with a shoulder issue for this first quarterfinal game. She averaged 15 points, a great post presence in there. So dealing without her is going to be an issue. But in Shayna Pellington, they trust. She's going to have a big game today for the Wildcats.
Kate Reese, when she was in Tempe just a few weeks ago, Walker, you and I were on that call. Now, granted, University of Arizona lost in one of the biggest upsets in all of conference play, regular season conference play, to Arizona State. But Arizona State's already out. They're knocked out before Arizona even starts playing. So today, you're going to look to see who can step up, right, and replace that production. 15 points a game, a senior leader on this team that went to the national championship game a season ago, was essentially Aari McDonald's running partner through the NCAA tournament a season ago. It's going to be hard to replace that. It's hard to replace not only the productivity that she brings on court, the statistics, but also the glue, the senior leadership that she brings day in and day out, game in and game out. Pac-12 tournament is no joke, especially on the women's end. Easily, many would argue this is the toughest tournament in the country to get through. You get through this, the NCAA tournament, first round is going to be a piece of cake compared to this.
This is a very big test for Arizona early. Colorado had a challenging game against Washington yesterday where Washington took them down to the wire, but Colorado was able to pull that one off despite losing to Mia Sadler late in the game. It was a really good matchup to start the day, and Colorado is starting it again, and we are about to be underway here in Michelob Ultra Arena. And you talked a little bit about the production from Kate Reese and Aari McDonald, and Shayna Pellington for Arizona has really taken up that mantle and become that star point guard where that void was left when Aari McDonald went to the WNBA last year.
Shayna Pellington, well, she's a senior. She's a 5'8" senior guard from Pickering, Ontario, Canada. In the national championship game a season ago, she had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals. That was in a game where she was playing with Aari McDonald. She transferred into this team from Oklahoma just a few seasons ago. Yeah, Pellington is essentially the heart and soul of this team right now, right? As this team goes, as Pellington goes, this team goes.
You can say the same thing for Colorado. Their star player, Maya Hollingshed out there, had a rough start to the last game yesterday, but completely caught fire in the third quarter, made 3 straight threes on 3 possessions, and was a pivotal part to them winning against Washington yesterday. And she is in the middle, along with Ware for the Wildcats, and Arizona gets the ball off the tip. Pellington's going to give it over the right side for the first possession. Goes inside Ware, and Ware gets an easy layup off a nice feed from Puello. Lauren Ware with the first points for Arizona. They lead by 2, 20 seconds into the game. Foreman getting the start today for the injured Tamia Sadler. Has the ball at the top of the key, looking to pass, gets it over to Sherrod. Sherrod drives, gets it rejected, and here comes Pellington on a fast break. 2-on-3 against Arizona, kicks to the corner. Back to Pellington on the left wing, steps up, thought about a mid-range, goes back out, play on the right side. Back to the top of the key, Thomas, swing over to Pellington, now into the corner. That's Yaney. Gives it over to Ware, handoff to Puello. 12 seconds on the shot clock, 9 on the game clock. Puello trying to run a play, some off-ball movement, looking for an ISO, gets a screen on Finau. Gives back to Ware. Ware's going to drive to her right, 2 seconds. Kicks to Pellington. Pellington a 3, can't get it to go. Rebound falls to Hollingshed. Good defensive possession for Colorado, and a nice pass goes inside. Sherrod sent a half-court dime down to Tudele. And Tudele is going to be fouled and sent to the line for her first shot at points.
Peanut Tudele, she played 29 minutes yesterday. 6 of 9 shooting from the field. She had 17 points. She's one of the leaders of this Colorado team. One of the reasons why they won that pretty close game yesterday against the 12 seed in Washington.
And feeding her on that play was Jalen Sherrod, who really runs things for this team, is a great point guard, doesn't score a lot, but her passing vision is incredible. Tudele gets both from the line. Arizona with the ball now, knotted up at 2 apiece. 8:45 left to go in the first. Puello tries a 5-footer. No good. Gets her own rebound. Puts it back up and in on the right side off the glass. Arizona retakes the lead 4-2. And Arizona, their patented full court press from the jump is in effect. Sherrod with the ball. Hollingfield got her ankle stepped on. She's fighting through it right now. Sherrod guarded by Pellington, gives it over. Tudele. Picked up by Ware. Swings over to the right side, Sherrod. Sherrod's going to drive to her right and is going to have a block called as she was picked up by Pellington. Pellington a little too handsy.
Shayna Pellington, just a few weeks ago against Arizona State, she was all over Arizona State's star sophomore guard, Jaden Simmons. She made Simmons, who is arguably one of the best young talents in the conference, she made Simmons' life hectic, chaotic, and uncomfortable during that game. Trying to do the same thing early here with Colorado starting guards.
And that was a tough game for Pellington as well. She ended up at the line about 20 times in that game, as that one was a bruiser. They might have the same issue here as Foreman drove inside for Colorado but couldn't get it to go. And now Arizona's going to push it quickly. Puello crosses the court over to Thomas. Under 8 to play in the first. Thomas hands off Pellington on the left side, crosses the paint, swings to the corner, back out to Yaney on the right wing. Now back to hand off to Puello on the right elbow, kicks out to Ware. Ware's going to hand off to Pellington. She drives, and we're going to have an off-the-ball foul. I believe they're going to call it on Ware. Lauren Ware with an illegal screen, so Colorado's going to get the ball.
Looks like Ware was a little bit confused on that call. She thought she had her feet set, but officials have been calling these games extremely close the entire way through. This game is no exception. I'm not surprised at all that the refs blew their whistle even on the slightest bit of movement or contact on that screen.
Tudele gives it over to Hollingshed for the Colorado possession. They're down by 2 with 7.5 to play in the first. Hollingshed misses a 3 from the right wing. Rebound falls to Pellington, and we're going to have a foul called in the backcourt. Jalen Sherrod's going to pick it up, her first.
Once again with all the contact. You saw it yesterday during the UCLA versus USC game. Multiple technical fouls were issued in that game because of how physical players were playing. This is competition. This is March. There's a reason why these players showed up and have so much emotion on court.
We have a drive by Arizona. That was Bindu Yaney who went inside. So she'll be at the line for 2 shots. And we saw a similar story. My partner Tia and I saw a similar story in the Utah-Cal game. It was a very physical game. The officials kind of have to take control of it when it gets really physical because these players out here, they know what they're playing for. This is tournament time. This is March. It's a different type of game out there, more physical. It's faster and harder to play.
And if you're someone like a Colorado Boulder, Colorado, more than likely, they will be in the NCAA tournament. They're a 5 seed in this tournament. They were ranked for good chunks of the season. More than likely, they will go to the NCAA tournament. But they're playing for tournament seeding, right? They're playing for where they're going to be located in regional play. So you can't blame them. You can't blame players for playing with a lot of emotion, for having everything be at an all-time high. If you're not going to compete here, when are you going to compete, right?
Exactly right. Bindu Yaney made both the free throws for Arizona, and Colorado brought it up on the full court press. Foreman on the right wing goes to Tudele, who almost loses the handle, kicks back out to a recently checked in Lasila Fee now. Back to Tudele on the right wing, gives out Kendall Wetta. Kendall Wetta will drive, kicks to the corner. 4-minute 3, rattles it home. First triple of the night for either team. Frida Foreman gets herself on the board, 6-5 in favor of the Wildcats. Yaney drives and kicks out Pellington in the left corner. Now a couple of swings over to Thomas at the top, into the corner, Yaney. Yaney back out to Thomas at the top of the key. She's going to drive left with the ball in her left hand. Gives back out. Now Lauren Ware, and she's going to be called for a travel as she started her drive before she dribbled.
Lauren Ware causing 2 turnovers, essentially back-to-back. You could tell Adia Barnes rather frustrated about both calls. She's literally talking to referees right now, wondering where is their frame of mind when they see a travel, when they see a chippy foul call.
6th man of the year, Quay Miller just checked in for Colorado. Expect to see a lot of minutes out of her. She has it on the right wing right now. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 6 to play in the first. Here comes Foreman driving with the left hand, throws up a layup, no good. Rebound tapped around and falls to Thomas, and she's going to be fouled by Foreman looking for the rebound.
Quay Miller, she's a junior center from Renton, Washington. She went to Kentridge High School in Washington. One of the most productive players in the Pac-12 this season. A player that understands how to accept her role from day one, and not only accept it, but embrace it.
And there are a lot of players on this team for Colorado that accept their role. This team goes 8 or 9 players deep, including Kendall Wetta. And recently checked in Tayana Jones, who just came into the game. Now here comes Arizona with the ball, up 1, 5:45 to play in the first. Goes inside Ware pump fake, goes up, and Hollingshed's going to be called for a foul. Great pump fake to draw the contact by Lauren Ware.
Walker, you mentioned it, the depth of the Colorado bench, but on the other side, Arizona, local Arizona product, Taylor Chavez. She's a junior transfer from the University of Oregon. Chavez just checked in for Arizona. She was the Pac-12 most improved player after her sophomore year at Oregon, and ended up deciding to transfer after the era of playing with Sabrina Ionescu, of playing alongside Satu Sabali. She ended up deciding to transfer, come back home, try to join in on the Final Four run that was Arizona a season ago.
Ware just hit both the free throws, and you're right. And both of these benches are going to be tested. No Tamia Sadler, no Kate Reese. So they're going to get a little bit more minutes as Quay Miller takes it. Foreman, a nice pass to Jones, who goes up but gets it stripped out of bounds by Arizona. I believe it was Sam Thomas who's tipped that one out. Great play by her. Lauren Ware will check out for Coy Love for the Wildcats. Colorado with the ball, 17 seconds on the shot clock. Inbound to Foreman. And Foreman's going to be one of those players that we see get a lot of extra minutes. She started the game and hasn't come out as we're about halfway through the first. A good pivot by Jones, throws up a layup, no good. A little bit of contact, not called. Rebound falls to Arizona. They're pushing it now. Taylor Chavez with it on the left wing is going to reset the offense. She's picked up by Kendall Wetta at the top of the key. Dribbling with her right, gets a screen from Yaney. And tried to give it back to Yaney as she picked up her dribble, almost lost it. Now Coy Love, 10 seconds on the shot clock, going to drive to her right. No dice, Hollingshead on defense, gives over to Pueo. Now back to Love on the right, kicks to the corner. A three-point ball for Arizona. Can't get it to go as it rattles around. That was Taylor Chavez with the three, and here comes Colorado. Wetta over to Jones, swing to Miller. Miller looking for Hollingshead inside, no dice. Gives it over to Foreman, and they're looking to call out a play. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Jones dribbles right, gives over to Miller in the corner. Looking for a back screen on Hollingshead. Gives over to, and now going to give it over to Hollingshead at the top of the key. Handoff. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Jones with it. Tight defense by Sam Thomas. Swings it. Wetta has to fire up a long three. Can't get it to go. Rebound tapped around and is going to go out of bounds as no one touched it off the miss. And with that stoppage of play, we are at the first, under 5 of game one. A low-scoring affair through 6 minutes. Arizona up 8 on the Colorado Buffaloes. We'll be right back. This is Blaze Radio. Welcome back to Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen, for the first game of the quarterfinals of the Pac-12 women's basketball tournament. Number 4 seeded Arizona taking on number 5 seeded Colorado. They lead 8-5 over the Buffs. Wildcats with the ball. Chavez has it on the right side. Colorado switching to his zone here to coming out of this media timeout, and it leads to a turnover off of a Coy Love deflection out of bounds. An interesting look from Colorado to change it up. No full court pressure off this inbound. Colorado trying to activate this offense quickly. Weta gives it over to Tudele, who re-entered out of the timeout. Swings over to Finau. Weta now back at the top of the key. Goes over to the right side, Tudele. She's holding the ball in the right corner. Now she picks up a dribble, dribbles back to the top of the key, gives it to Finau. Gets a screen from Tudele, but way to get over the screen by Coy Love and Chavez, but Chavez is going to be called for a foul. Actually, no, they're going to call the foul on Coy Love. It's the 4th team foul for Arizona in the quarter. Both teams no more fouls to give for the last 3:15 of the first. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Weta with it, swings over the right side. That's Finau. Now back to Jones at the top. Gives over Tudele on the right elbow. Looking for another dribble handoff. Incredible ball denial from Arizona to not let this offense get going. 3 seconds on the shot clock. A good cut inside. And Tudele is going to be bumped again by Coy Love. That's 2 quick fouls for her. Bailing out Colorado, who just can't get their plays developed as Arizona is all up in the Colorado's face.
An Adia Barnes special, Walker. You will play physical, you will play hard, you will deny every single ball. It doesn't matter how many possessions it takes. It doesn't matter how many offensive boards the team gets. You will deny. Front court into back court. Coy Love is embracing that, probably embracing it a little bit too much. Hence why she's actually getting checked out of the game literally as we speak.
Peanut Tudele makes both of her free throws. She's 4 for 4 from the stripe already today, under 3 to play. Wildcats lead the Buffs 8-7. Arizona with the ball, bringing it up. It's Puello. She's picked up by Kendall Weta. Swings over to left side, Chavez. Chavez thought about a deep 3, gives it over into the corner. That's Madison Connor, who just checked in and is going to be bumped in the corner. We're going to have a foul on Colorado. They're going to call it on number 1, Tiana Jones.
Madison Connor, the true freshman who just checked in for the Arizona Wildcats. At 17 years old, a season ago, she played in the NCAA National Championship game. She's a Perry High School and Compass Prep alumni who graduated high school early and joined the Arizona Wildcats in January of 2021. So she played in the national championship game before she could even legally vote, Walker.
An early enrollee at Arizona last year, and she is a pure shooter and shows it at the line as she nails them both, giving extending Arizona's lead 10-7. 2:44 left in the first. Finau gets the inbound. Arizona kind of backing off on the full court pressure, but their half court pressure has been incredible early on. Foreman, who just recently checked in the game, gives it over to Finau. Now Tudele on the left wing. A lot of off-ball motion. Hollingshed with the ball. Swings over. That's Finau. Finau tried to give it off to Foreman. Foreman had to throw it up before it went out of bounds, and now Arizona came up with it, threw it down court. A bad pass, though, and they're going to have to reset. Sam Thomas at the top of the key. Gives over Chavez. Chavez, a deep 3. No good. It's short. Rebound falls to Tudele. Colorado thinking they're lucky stars. They go back in. Hollingshed. Hollingshed can't finish over contact. Gets her own rebound and puts the floater back up and in. Hollingshed's first bucket of the day. Under 2 to play. Colorado down 1.
And that's where Maya Hollingshed shines better and brighter than ever. Down low, getting rebounds.
And we haven't seen her a whole lot today. Sam Thomas has been playing great defense on her. She has the ball in the corner, fires a 3, too strong off the back iron. Rebound tipped around, but Kendall Weta comes up with it. 1.5 minutes left to go in the first period. Hollingshed with the ball. Gives over Finau outside the left wing. Back to Weta up top. Gets a screen and gives off to Tudele. Now back to Finau. Finau double teamed over by the sideline, and it's going to go off Lauren Ware out of bounds. Colorado to keep the possession. He now inbounds it to Weta with 12 seconds on the shot clock for Colorado. 1:20 to go in the first. Go into the right corner, that's Finau. Gives up two delay, goes inside Hollingshed, who can't get it over, who can't get the layup over two defenders, and now Arizona's got a fast break. Puello almost loses the ball, swings corner. A shot for three from the corner, no good. That was Connor, she couldn't get it to go. Rebound falls to Colorado. Under a minute to play in the first. Kendall Weta brings it up. Weta trying to go coast to coast, gives up through contact, no call on Lauren Ware, and Arizona will keep it, and Weta immediately brings up the pressure, but a good pass out of it by Puello. Sam Thomas gives back to Puello, and they're looking to probably draw up a play here to maybe go 2 for 1. They go inside, kick back out. This time it's Chavez who can't get it to go. That corner three has been there, but they're not making it. Arizona only up 1, 30 seconds to play. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Weta has the ball for Colorado. They're going to dwindle the clock down a little bit, probably call 1 with 10 seconds left on the shot clock, and that point is now. So not a whole lot of movement. They give it over to Hollingshed with 7 on the shot clock. Now they swing over to Finau. Top of the key, Tudele. Tudele had a shot, didn't take it. Goes back inside Hollingshed with 1 on the shot clock. And we're going to have a shot clock that threw up a shot through contact that didn't hit the rim. No foul call. It's starting to get really physical inside. Hollingshed is just not catching a break down low.
Tudele on that last play, she got something a lot of players will call a little bit too laser focused vision on court. It means that you're so focused on executing the play that your coach or your point guard just called that you don't recognize when you might have a wide open shot. You don't recognize and read the floor very well.
Pellington can't get a shot off to end the first quarter as Ware was trying to set a backcourt screen. And that'll take us to the end of 1. Wildcats up 10-9 in the first game of the day in the quarterfinal of the Pac-12 women's tournament. We'll be right back to bring you the second quarter. Welcome back to the Pac-12 Women's Tournament in Las Vegas. This is Blaze Radio Online with Gabby Ducharme. I'm Walker Smith, here to bring you Arizona, Colorado, the first game of the quarterfinal. Arizona leads by 1 as we begin the second quarter. Colorado has the rock. Jones with it at the top of the key, leads by 15 on the shot clock. Swing over the right side, that's Finau. Now back out, Tudele is going to shoot this three and has it go off the front iron. No good. Hollingshead with the offensive board. Good pump fake, goes up and gets the floater to go. Those post moves have been there for her. She's just been going up through contact, and Colorado's got the lead back 11-10, 40 seconds into the second quarter. Pellington back into the game out of the break for Arizona. Swings over to Thomas. Now Chavez was looking for Madison Connor over in the corner, but a pass is tipped out of bounds.
When you just look on the sidelines, you can see Adia Barnes and her husband, who's actually an assistant coach on this team, her husband, Salva Kappa. The couple absolutely dominates college basketball, and you can see how enthusiastic they are right now in this ball game.
Sam Thomas has the ball for Arizona. Hands off. Chavez gives it Connor. Connor's going to try a three, and that one's not going to hit anything but the air as it goes out of bounds. A little bit of early nerves from the freshman.
Madison Connor actually playing in her first traditional Pac-12 championships, right? Her first traditional Pac-12 tournament. A year ago when she was here, there were no fans. There was no media right on top of you dissecting every inch of what you were doing. So pretty probably an emotionally driven moment for the freshman. Probably why she's 0 for 4 from three-point line right now.
It was a very similar situation in the NCAA tournament as well, as Colorado's going to give the ball right back off of Tiana Jones' travel. 8:40 on the clock. The Buffs lead the Wildcats by 1. Yaney inbounds the ball to Pellington in the backcourt. No pressure from Colorado until they cross the timeline. Kendall Wetta picks up Pellington and almost forces a steal, but she's going to be called for a reach. Tough foul for Kendall Wetta, and that's something she did all day yesterday. She was harassing the point guard of Washington every time she crossed the court. Ended up with 2 steals on the day yesterday and expect her to have a couple today. Wetta guarding Pellington off the inbound, swings over to left side. Chavez picked up by Finau, goes inside Ware. Ware tries a 20-footer from the left elbow, and it hits. Softly hitting the iron and going in, and Arizona retakes the lead by 1, 12-11, 8:10 to go in the first half.
Lauren Ware, she's the leading scorer in this ball game. She's got 6 points. She's got half her team's points almost halfway through the second quarter of play.
Colorado's got to get something going here. They didn't score for the last 2 minutes to end the first quarter and only have 1 bucket here early in the second. And that's going to be a blocking foul called as Chavez and Finau had a hard collision off a screen, and they're going to give the benefit of the doubt to Finau.
Looks like Finau, a lot of Arizona fans are booing in this crowd because Finau literally took her elbow because Chavez was so tight on her. As Chavez was trying to get around the screen, Finau extended her arm, literally sent Chavez falling to the ground, and you could hear the pop literally on our microphone right here.
15 seconds on the shot clock as we get a 3-point ball from Finau. Goes in and comes right back out. And Pellington's going to push it quickly off the miss. And she goes coast to coast with a nice left-handed finish at the rim. Arizona up 3 now. 7.5 left to go in the second quarter. Wetta with it for Colorado. Gives it to Foreman. Gives it to Hollingshead at the top of the key. Telling her team to clear out, looking for some off-ball movement. Incredible ball denial. We're going to have a 5-second call on Hollingshead as she was trying to get the ball to Finau. But incredible ball denial from Madison Connor. And I'll tell you what, Arizona is just picking up the energy on defense, and Colorado just hasn't been able to match it with their offense.
If there's one thing Adia Barnes knows, it's that championships are not won offensively, they are won defensively. You can control your denial effort. You can control your box-out effort. Can't always control the ball going in, but you can control how many times you stop the other team from scoring.
And we're going to have a turnover on the ensuing Arizona possession as Colorado switched to a zone. A swing over to Madison Connor, but she stepped a foot out of bounds as she was starting her baseline drive. Connor not playing up to her standards as she comes in, going to take a seat on the bench. Kendall Wetta with the ball on the right wing for Colorado. 25 on the shot clock, under 7 to play in the half. Foreman at the top of the key. Hollingshed on the right elbow, holding the ball, gives it out to Tudele, looking for a screen, doesn't really get it, gives it over to Foreman. She gets a screen, but is immediately doubled off of it. Doubled in the backcourt, looking for someone to hand off to, and we're going to have a foul. No, we're going to have a travel. As Foreman hit the deck and fell, and they're going to say no one fouled her. And that's just going to be a turnover. Arizona's going to get the ball back.
Colorado has 3 turnovers in the last 3 minutes of this basketball game, and they haven't scored once. You can tell the defensive intensity is turned up a notch by Arizona.
And Colorado's defense has been good as well, as their zone has really stifled Arizona in their half-court sets as we get a corner shot taken, no good from the left side. That shot was taken by Helena Puello. And they've taken that shot upwards of 5 times already in this game. A good look in that left corner, just hasn't fallen.
Yeah, Arizona currently 0 for 8 from behind the 3-point line. So it's not that they haven't gotten opportunities, but every opportunity has either been contested, pressured, too quick, feet aren't set. There's a million things that can go wrong on your 3-point shot. So give credit to Colorado. Even though they are getting opportunities to score, each one's contested.
And we got a corner 3 from Sam Thomas off the inbound. Great shot from her, and Arizona leads by 6. A pass inside goes well over the head of Finau. As Sherrod, who just rechecked into the game, gives it right back to Arizona. And Colorado's starting to fall apart. They haven't scored in the last 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Arizona with the ball again with a chance to extend their lead. Up 6, 20 seconds on the shot clock. They go inside. A nice pass to Yaney from Lauren Ware, and Arizona's up 8. Timeout on the floor by Colorado.
Arizona currently on a 9-0 run the last 2 minutes and 21 seconds of this basketball game. Essentially, since the beginning of the second quarter to now, Colorado has been able to do nothing offensively. They look stagnant, they look overwhelmed and exhausted halfway through only the second quarter of this basketball game. That's the difference. That's the difference, Walker, between a team that wins a couple games in Pac-12s and a team that's made it all the way to the national championship game a season ago.
You're exactly right. We'll step aside here during this timeout. We'll be right back. This is Blaze Radio. We're back here on Blaze Radio Online. The Wildcats lead Colorado 19-11 in the first quarterfinal of today. Colorado with the ball. Arizona picking up the full court pressure. Sherrod has it for the Buffs. Jalen Sherrod, we haven't seen a whole lot of her today as she picked up early fouls that forced her to the bench, but she comes back in. Under 6 to play, and we're going to have a turnover out of the timeout. Great hands by Puello to poke the ball away. Puello calling out plays from the top of the key. Colorado's still running their 2-3 zone. And that 2-3 zone forces a steal. Here comes Quay Miller, 6th man of the year. Good dump off to Hollingshed, who puts it in. Great executed fast break off the steal, all done by Quay Miller. Lead is now 6 for Arizona off the fast break. Puello on the right side gives back to Top Pellington, goes inside Yaney, kick out Thomas. This zone is rotating really well for Arizona. Goes inside. Lauren Ware almost forces another turnover. Back out Sam Thomas, tries a 30-footer, rattles out. Rebound falls to Hollingshed.
If you're Colorado, you're going to want to look to push pace here. That's how you're getting back in this ball game. Push the pace.
Tudele goes up strong through contact and hits it. A 4-0 run out of the timeout for Colorado. The lead is 4 for Arizona now. Pellington slowing it down. We talked a lot about the Arizona defense, and this zone has actually given Arizona some fits on their offensive end. That's why the lead isn't as big as it should be. Pellington in the corner. Picked up by Finau, is doubled by Kendall Wetta, almost loses it and throws it directly out of bounds, and they're going to say it went off of Finau. Arizona will get the ball right in front of the Colorado bench.
The same level of defensive intensity we've seen on the end of Arizona, we're now seeing on the end of Colorado. Both teams shooting below 40 and 30% in this ball game.
And that zone forces another turnover. Here comes Jalen Sherrod, one-on-one, up on Pellington, and a nice reverse finish. And the lead is 2 for Arizona, and we're going to have a Wildcat timeout with 4:17 left in the first half. And that is the run Colorado needed to get back into this ball game in the second quarter.
3 field goals in 3 minutes, 3 possessions, 6-0 run for the Colorado Buffs. They come roaring back against the defending national champion runner-ups.
I don't know what head coach J.R. Payne said in that timeout, but it really got him energized. Really got him energized coming out of that timeout. They went on a 6-0 run. We're going to, actually no, the players are coming back onto the floor. As for all Arizona State fans, we have breaking news here. Gabby, can you please explain the breaking news to the people?
Excuse me, sir, do you mind if I take a look? So, according to Cronkite News, Arizona PBS, ASU women's basketball coach Charlie Turner-Thorne is expected to announce that she is stepping down from the program after 25 years at the helm. This is breaking news out of Cronkite News and Arizona PBS. Charlie Turner-Thorne is expected to step down in a press conference today after being with the program for 25 years. It says, quote, when asked about the news, ASU Athletic Director Ray Anderson said you will, quote, find out more at 3 p.m. That should give you a hint.
That should be 3 p.m. Phoenix time, so that's 4 o'clock Western. Should be about 1 o'clock, it should be 5 o'clock Eastern time as Lauren Ware is at the line shooting free throws for the Wildcats. This is still a developing story, so we don't know all the details here in Vegas.
Yeah.
We'll keep you updated as we hear things. Lauren Ware hits both free throws. Wildcats back up by 4. Colorado with the ball, under 4 to play. Down by 4. Handoff, Sherrod gives it over to Finau. Arizona Wildcats look like they might have switched to a little bit of a zone. Actually, no, they're playing man, excuse me. Quay Miller looking to hand off to Finau, but great ball now. Quay Miller's going to drive in through contact, can't get it, but she's going to be fouled, and they're going to call it on Lauren Ware. It's going to be a push. It's going to be Lauren Ware's second foul, second team foul of the quarter for Arizona. Quay Miller at the line for her first shot. And she hits the first free throw.
Walker, going back just a tiny bit to the Charlie Turner Thorne supposed news, according to Cronkite News here, Charlie Turner Thorne actually took a leave of absence in 2012, wanting to regain life balance. When I spoke to someone back in November, I spoke to a high school basketball coach in the local Arizona area who has won multiple state championships and also played basketball at Arizona State. When I spoke to Karen Self about why Charlie Turner Thorne took that leave of absence, she hinted at the fact that CTT wanted to gain more balance in her life. She wanted to be around her 3 children, her 3 boys. She's got three sons, all of whom are pretty much grown adults now, but they were all children back in 2011. So some may wonder if this situation is similar to that of the one from a decade ago.
I don't want to speculate too much on it.
Yeah.
During the press conference yesterday after their loss to Oregon State, she was asked about whether or not this team would be willing to play in the NIT if they adjusted their rules for a team to be 500. She kind of smiled at the crowd and kind of said, you know, we're going to look and see what's going on. The players around her just said they love basketball and will continue to play, but a very non-committal answer from her yesterday. We'll keep you updated when her press conference goes live later today. Right now, we still have the first quarterfinal of the day. Colorado has cut the lead to 1. Arizona with the ball, scored 21-20 with 2:40 left in the half. Puello with it for Arizona. Swings out Thomas. Thomas is going to fire a 3. Can't get it. Short. Bounces around the rim, and Hollingshed's going to be fouled. Actually, no, they're going to say Hollingshed just tapped it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Wildcats. And it's safe to say this is extremely shocking news here early this morning. We didn't have any kind of warning towards this after the game yesterday. Still a very fluid situation. Keep in touch with Cronkite News. I'm sure they will be on top of it as more details come out.
Yeah, shout out to the newsroom of the journalism school that we're all a part of, Cronkite News, Arizona PBS, breaking pretty major news out of the Valley this morning.
Lauren Ware is going to be back at the free throw line for the Wildcats, and she can't get the first one as it hits the front rim and goes out. This is Ware's 5th and 6th free throw of the afternoon, and she goes 1 for 2 on this trip. Make it 4 for 6 today.
Lauren Ware, 9 points on the afternoon. She's the leading scorer for both teams getting it done.
Ooh, and that's going to be a hard foul. I believe that was Finau who drove in. Excuse me, that was Tiana Jones. No, it was Finau that took a hard hit by 3 Arizona defenders going inside. So she'll be at the line to maybe tie the game. Colorado down 2 with a little under 2.5 left to go in the second period. And that's an interesting foul, too, because that's going to be Lauren Ware's 3rd. So she's going to be on thin ice for the rest of the game.
And it's not even halftime yet, Walker. And you know, as this game goes along, it's just going to get even more chippy. It's just going to get even more aggressive.
You're right, especially as more nerves start to calm down. Colorado, they had their game yesterday to work out the nerves against Washington.
Yeah.
And we saw those nerves come out. That's why that game was so close to the bottom team in the Pac-12. Still giving credit to Washington. They played a good game. But Arizona, they haven't had a chance to shake off those nerves. This is their first game of the tournament, first game of March Madness. So those nerves still apparent. A tied game, knotted up at 22 apiece. Arizona with the ball. Ware inside, kicks out Pellington. She tries a three-pointer that doesn't hit anything. And Pellington, not normally known to shoot that outside shot. And that one is going to go out of bounds. Colorado with a chance to take the lead, under 2 to play.
Shayna Pellington, normally someone who drives hard, someone who loves getting into contact. That's why she went to the free throw line 20 times against Arizona State back in mid-February.
And Tudele drove inside, but Ware, a strong rejection inside, gives it over to Puello on the left wing, swing over Sam Thomas. She's got a wide open 3. It looks left and is left and long, and the rebound's going to go out of bounds, but saved. That's Tiana Jones who saved that ball, and Sherrod's going to bring it up for Colorado. Buffs knotted up with Arizona, under 1:20 to play, as Tudele can't get the 15-footer to go. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and they're going to say it's going to stay on this end of the floor. Kendall Wetta is going to check in for Jalen Sherrod. And Lauren Ware is going to come out, and this is going to be the first time we've seen Aronette Von Lay for Arizona.
Lauren Ware forced to check out of the basketball game due to foul trouble. She's going to be a major loss for Arizona in that third and fourth quarter. They're going to try and keep her on the bench probably as long as possible to ensure that she doesn't get into deeper foul trouble.
And that forward position is going to be an interesting spot now. No Kate Reese, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. That forward spot was taken up, and now no Lauren Ware for a good amount of time. Definitely towards the end of the half, as we're going to have a foul inside. They're going to call it on Sam Thomas. That was a fourth team foul for Arizona, but it was on the shot. So Kendall Wetta will be at the line for her first free throws.
Kendall Wetta, a freshman 5'9" guard. She's actually a local kid from Denver, Colorado area. She went to Valor Christian High School. Valor Christian's actually one of the best basketball programs in the state of Colorado. I believe it was back in 2020 during, you know, the pandemic season when they were in the state playoffs and things ended up getting canceled so quickly. Valor Christian was actually supposed to play in the state championship game that year. That would have been Wetta's junior season at the school.
Wetta had a great game yesterday. Scored 8 points on 4 for 10 shooting with 2 steals. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, she's really just that energizer bunny off the bench for Colorado. Comes in, gives her all, and really is going to harass Pellington as she has the ball currently. Colorado's still running that 2-3 zone. Pueyo's going to drive in and gets it rejected by Hollingstead. What a block. She comes up with the rebound, gives out Wetta. They're going to push, goes inside Fee now, but she can't hold on to the ball on the back cut. And that'll be a turnover. 32.4 seconds on the game clock in the second quarter.
Arizona, they haven't scored a field goal in 5.5 minutes. They haven't scored a field goal in 5.5 minutes of play. Luckily for the Wildcats, they're locking in defensively. You know, Colorado's only shooting 32% from the field. So while things are going well defensively for the Wildcats, they've struggled mightily to get anything in the basket offensively.
The Jimmy Boeheim zone coming in clutch for Colorado today. Arizona with the ball. It's Pueyo on the right wing. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Pueyo looking for a screen, doesn't use it, picks up her dribble, is going to go over to the left side. Thomas swings. Chavez in the corner. Madison Connor still drive, throws up a shot through contact, no good. And it's going to be a shot clock violation, but the clock didn't stop. There should be around 2 seconds left on the game clock as the shot clock expired, but they're not going to put it back on there. It looks like the teams are headed back to the locker room. And the officials do hand the ball off to the scorer's table, and that's going to end the first half of play. And Colorado has put Arizona on upset alert here in the quarterfinal. Halftime score 24-22 in favor of the Buffaloes.
For context, Walker, on that final play, it looks like the referees essentially just swallowed their whistles and said, we're just going into halftime, and that's going to be that.
A little bit of interesting call. By rule, there should have been around there was about a 1.5 2-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. So
yeah,
Colorado would have had maybe a chance at a half-court heave or a quick play. I guess they just decided to void that, and both teams head to their locker rooms to talk about adjustments. And
Maya Hollingshed, she even looked over at the bench and looked around and said, guys, what happened?
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
We still should have about a 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, she was standing underneath the basket waiting for the basketball to be given over to her, and the basketball was never given to her. The basketball was just taken by the referees over to the referee's table.
Yeah, the official came over here just shaking her head saying we're just going to go to halftime, and that is where we are at. We will take a quick break for the half. The Buffaloes lead the Wildcats 24-22 here in the first game of the quarterfinal in the Pac-12 tournament. Welcome back to Blaze Radio Online. I'm Walker Smith. My partner Gabby Ducharme will be joining me in just a few seconds as we get ready for the second half of action. U of A trailing Colorado 24-22 in this first quarterfinal of the second day of the Pac-12 women's tournament. Arizona starts with the ball. They go inside. Lauren Ware, and Ware is going to be called for a travel as she shuffled her feet before landed up inside the block. Colorado with the ball now. Sherrod's going to push it for him, bringing it past the timeline. 20 seconds into the second half. This is Colorado's first possession. Sherrod with it. He's going to drive to her left across the paint. Thought about a shot. Gets back out. Hollingshed from the top of the key. A three, and it hits the back of the rim and goes in. Lead is up to 5 for Colorado as Hollingshed hits her first triple of the day.
Maya Hollingshed trying to come alive here in the second half as the Buffs remain on upset alert.
Pellington with it now, swings it over to Thomas. Now Yaney in the right corner. She gets doubled. Colorado still playing that zone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it is the mentality of the Buffaloes. Pellington out there on the right wing is going to dribble in. Couple steps, kicks back out Thomas. A three from the right wing is no good. Rebound falls to Tudele in Colorado. Sherrod's going to push it up past the timeline. Picked up by Pellington on the left wing. Going to drive baseline and slides out of bounds. No foul called. They're going to give the ball to the Wildcats.
Colorado Buffaloes, the defense they're running, it's the exact same defense my own high school team ran. The objective is to prevent a wing three from being shot and made. When I was in high school, if the opponent made a wing three on either end and you didn't close out properly, you were instantly subbed out of the game.
And the rotations on this zone have been all but perfect here as Yaney has a corner mid-range shot that's no good. Hollingshed gets the board. Colorado off to a good start here in this second half of play. A minute and a hook into the third quarter. Colorado's up 5 on number 4 seeded Arizona. Hollingshed's going to give it to Tudele on the left elbow. Gives it out, Hollingshed. She tries a three with Thomas in her face. Too short off the front of the rim. Rebound goes to the corner and out of bounds. No one touched it off the miss. Arizona's going to get the ball out here. Yaney's going to check out of the game for Puello as she re-enters. Excuse me, actually Coy Love enters the game for the Wildcats. Pellington on the left wing, gives it up to Thomas, covered by Finau. Finau switching on to Puello, who just received the ball. Now Pellington on the right elbow, kicks out Thomas. Thomas has an open three from the corner. No good. It was on the right wing, actually, but an offensive rebound by Lauren Ware, and the nice touch inside to get the first bucket of the half for the Wildcats. Foreman pushing it quickly for the Buffs. Gives over Hollingshed now to the left side, Finau. Finau gives it off to Sherrod. Sherrod's going to set it up with 15 on the shot clock. An off-ball screen for Hollingshed on the right side. She has it on the wing. Picked up by Coy Love. Gives it over to Tudele at the top. She dribbles to her left and gives it over to Sherrod, who is immediately double-teamed in the corner and is going to be called. They're going to say Pellington pushed her out of bounds, a little bit of a block, so that'll give the Buffs a fresh 20.
Colorado Buffaloes coming out of halftime, they've stuck to that mentality. You mentioned it earlier, Walker. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
You're right, and Colorado has come out on the front foot, where Arizona, they look a little more flat-footed to start this game. They're not fighting over screens as much as they did as Sherrod drives and can't get her third shot to fall. She's now 2 for 3. Hollingshed tries a 28-footer, and it hits the bottom of the net. Nothing but nylon. Hollingshed, 2 threes in this third quarter, and the lead is up to 6 for the Buffaloes.
The way Hollingshed's playing right now really resembles how she played yesterday. It took her a while to get in the groove of the game, but now that she's in the groove, there's no getting her out of it.
And Finau tapped the ball away, and they're going to say it went out of bounds off of Coy Love, so a quick turnover for Arizona, and Colorado has a chance to extend their advantage. A little over 6.5 to play in the third quarter. Colorado leads by 6, 30-24. Foreman with it on the right wing, goes inside Hollingshed. She's picked up by Love. Gets doubled on the post, kicks back out Tudele at the top of the key. Now back to Hollingshed on the right elbow. Gives over Finau. Finau double teamed out in the wing, and she's going to be shoved by Coy Love, who's looking for a travel. The official said no go. Actually, they're not going to call that on Love. They're going to call it on Helena Puello. That'll be Puello's first foul.
Helena Puello, she's top 3 on the team in steals a season ago in 2021. She's a Spanish national team player as well, so a lot of experience running through her veins.
And Foreman is going to lose the ball out of bounds as she was trying to drive on Lauren Ware but lost the handle. Wildcats will get the ball off the Buffalo turnover. 6 to play. Buffalo up by 6. Sam Thomas dribbles it across and just tosses it out of bounds. No one touched it, and Sam Thomas is looking at Coy Love like, where were you at? Arizona really not looking like themselves coming out of this into this second half.
Arizona, they've got 9 turnovers already, shooting just 27% from the field and 6% from the three-point line. They are 1 of 16 from behind the arc. That's how you really know the Syracuse defense is working.
The Syracuse defense is working. The issue is Arizona has gotten those open threes a couple times as Foreman gets a screen, is going to drive in, and we're going to have an offensive foul. It's going to be called on Hollingshed for an illegal screen. But Arizona, they had those looks. Puello and Madison Connor had a lot of those shots from the corner. They just weren't able to get them to fall. So it's a little bit of a lack of energy to come out here to start for the Wildcats. That's led to this 6-point deficit as we're 4.5 minutes into the third. Pellington's going to push the ball up for the Wildcats off the inbound from Coy Love. Puello out there. Madison Connor recently checked in. And Lauren Ware is out there at the center position for the Wildcats right now. Pellington dribbles to her left. Gives back over. Here's a Puello 3 from the right wing. Off the back iron, no good, but Coy Love gets the rebound for the Wildcats. It's steal of possession. Pellington now going to cross up, drive, and a nice finish, but can't get it to go. Lauren Ware fighting for the rebound, but couldn't be too aggressive as that one falls to Colorado. Now Sherrod pushes the pace. He's going to go up through contact and gets a late whistle after she fell to the ground. Arizona coaching staff not happy about it. That foul is going to be called on Coy Love. That's going to be her third.
Some of the audio from our boom mic right here is getting picked up. Adia Barnes communicating with those referees. Not too happy with that call. I could hear it very, very faintly in my headset, but she was wondering, what was that call? What was that call? That was a late whistle. That was a bailout.
It really was.
Those were the words that she was dropping, and many would argue that that was a bailout.
The foul came after Sherrod hit the deck hard, so maybe a little bit of a reaction foul to how hard Sherrod hit the deck, but we have hit the media timeout in the third quarter, 4:58 to play in the third. Colorado up 30-24. We'll be right back. This is Blaze Radio. Welcome back to Blaze Radio from Las Vegas at the Pac-12 Women's Tournament. Colorado and Arizona locked in a good one right now. Colorado at the free throw line, more specifically Jalen Sherrod, who goes 1 for 2 to increase the Buffalo advantage to 7, under 5 to play in the third. Pellington pushing it up. Gets a screen from Ware. Going to swing back out. That's Coy Love. Handoff Puello on the right side. Gives over to Pellington. Pellington kicks back over to Puello. The zone shifting very well for Colorado to Coy Love in the corner. And now they're going to say Coy Love was pushed out of bounds by Tamia Jones, or Tayana Jones.
If you're Arizona right now, stuck in one of the worst shooting ruts of the entire season, you got to look to drive it. Get it in down low, just as Lauren Ware is doing right now.
And Lauren Ware, a little bit of hesitation. She got the ball off the inbound, thought about going up strong, and said pivoted and faded away. Shot was short, didn't go in, and now Colorado's got the rock. Kendall Wetta recently checked in, gives it over to Sherrod. Back off to Wetta on the right wing. Gives over Love, and that pass is almost stolen away by Coy Love, who is jumping that pass like a corner. Colorado keeps the possession. Pass was intended for Hollingshed. Tayana Jones to inbound for the Buffaloes, gives it to Sherrod. Some off-ball movement now as Sherrod holds it. She's guarded by Sam Thomas. She gets a screen. She'll try and drive, gets rejected by Sam. Fires up a wild shot as the shot clock expires, and it doesn't hit. And Sherrod's yelling arguing with your coach a little bit about the play as time wound down and Colorado couldn't get a play run. 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Buffalo's up 7. Puello with it on the right side. Almost loses the ball. Gives it over to Lauren Ware she'll drive and kick back out Sam. Over to Puello. Now back inside. Lauren kicks out Sam Thomas. A corner three. And it hits the back of the rim and rolls over. No good. Here comes Sherrod for Colorado, pushing it quickly. Going to drive into the paint. Kick out. A three for Kendall Wetta. Hits nothing but air. And that rebound's tipped around. And they're going to say it's going to stay on the Colorado end.
Kendall Wetta got a little bit too excited on that shot attempt by her. Really, what you're seeing is you're seeing players playing in panic. They need to calm down. They need to slow the pace down a little bit, especially Colorado, considering they're the ones that have the seven-point lead.
Colorado, they've settled into this second half really well while Arizona's still trailing. Colorado with the ball. They haven't scored a field goal in the last 3.5 minutes, however. Under 3.5 to play in the third. Quay Miller recently checking into the game. Sherrod's going to drive baseline, kicks it back out. That's Jones, fires up a floater at the buzzer, no good. Rebound falls to Colorado. Quay Miller brings it back out, and Kendall Wetta will reset it with a fresh 15. Wetta picked up by Madison Connor, who recently checked in. Gives it over to Hollingshed on the left wing, guarded by Sam Thomas. Gives it over to Miller. Fakes the handoff. Looking to run the play. Hang off 3 seconds on the shot clock. Hollingshed will fire a shot. She knew that was Sherrod. No good. Hit the rim. Madison Connor with the board. Gives it out. Sam Thomas on the left side. She'll try and drive. On Sherrod. Kicks it a mid-range shot for Coy Love. Hits the back rim. No good. And Colorado will slow it down off the rebound. Neither of these teams really playing well. Arizona hasn't made a basket in 5 minutes. Colorado going on 3.5 minutes without a field goal too. Really slowing down. Under 2.5 to play. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Sherrod gives over. Quay Miller thought about a three. Going to spin to her right. A good pump fake goes up. No good on the 10-foot jump shot, but the rebound's going to be tapped out of bounds by Madison Connor. So Colorado will keep it. Lauren Ware is going to check out for Ben Duyani. And Coy Love is going to check out.
Adia Barnes really just trying to get something going offensively and defensively. It's exactly what she just did.
A good steal by Arizona gives them the ball back. Now into the corner, Yaney. Yaney gives it out. Madison Connor on the left wing. Guarded by Wetta, now gives up to Puello. She's picked up at the top of the key. Sherrod playing tough defense, goes over a screen into the corner. Sam Thomas goes inside, and it's a good bucket. That's Arinette Von Lay, who just checked in, who has her first points. She was the one that got the steal on the previous possession as well. The Buffalo lead is cut down to 5. 1.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Weddle with the ball, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Hollingshed now kicks back out. Jones, now Tudele, who just checked in. Hollingshed, 8 seconds on the shot clock on the right elbow, fakes the ball, almost loses it, 4 seconds, goes inside. Tudele throws up a like shot, too strong. Rebound falls to Tudele again, but now the ball's on the floor. Bodies hit the floor. Officials on it, and they're going to call a jump ball as Tudele was fighting between 4 Arizona defenders.
Give credit where credit is due to Tudele. Never stopped fighting for that rebound. Never stopped fighting to beat the first shot clock. She could have easily given up. She gives up height to Von Lay. She gives up size to every single front court player on Arizona, and it doesn't matter. She still chased after the rebound and won the jump ball.
Tayana Jones is going to check out for Lasila Finau on the Buffalo side. Buffaloes have 10 seconds on the shot clock with the ball. Kendall Weddle on the right elbow, gets a screen from Hollingshed, steps back, doesn't shoot. Now shoots the ball, and it just rolls around the rim, no good. 1 minute left in the third quarter, still no baskets for the last 5 minutes for either team. Thomas goes inside, but it's lost. And here come the Buffaloes, 2-on-1 break. Sherrod going to go up strong through Pellington, and Pellington is going to be called for the foul. Arinette Von Lay is the one who turned the ball over on the other end, and Sherrod will be right back at the free throw line.
In the point guard duel of this afternoon, Shayna Pellington was the player everyone was talking about. But Sherrod of University of Colorado, Jalen Sherrod, she's a 5'7" junior guard from Birmingham, Alabama. Right now, she is outplaying Shayna Pellington. She is outplaying one of the most well-known guards in this country.
But she misses the front end of the free throw, and here comes Arizona with the ball. They swing to Thomas. The zone starting to break apart, but then gets back together. 37 seconds to play in the third quarter, 50 on the shot clock. Pellington with the ball, called not a play from the logo. Gets a screen. Kicks over Yaney, back to Pellington at the top of the key, crosses up, 7 seconds on the shot clock, kicks Yaney. She'll drive inside on the left block, swings to the corner, Puello. Puello will have an open three, off the back iron, no good. And Weddle with a great hustle to get to the rebound, and now fought for by Thomas, and they're going to say it went off Thomas's hand. So Colorado will have the last possession of the third with 15 seconds on the game clock. Kendall Weddle gets the inbound. Arizona bringing pressure. Weddle with the ball, gives it off to Tudele, then back to Weddle. She'll drive, looking for a fake, and a nice layup through contact by Kendall Weddle. As the clock expires, Colorado is up 7, headed to the fourth quarter. This Colorado team has shown up to play. It is a close one here in Vegas for the first quarterfinal. Colorado leads 33-26 as we have hit the fourth quarter. We'll be right back. This is Blaze Radio. Welcome back to Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. 1 quarter to go here in the first quarterfinal of your Thursday. Colorado, seeded at number 5, putting number 4 seeded Arizona on upset alert as they're up 7 as we head to the final period of play. Lauren Ware with the ball inside is going to be fouled and sent to the free throw line. And we haven't seen a lot of Lauren Ware this second half as she picked up her 3rd foul late in that second quarter.
If I'm Adia Barnes on this one, Walker, I would try to keep Lauren Ware in this game as long as possible. Ware has 11 points on 3 of 5 shooting from the field, and she's gotten to the free throw line 6 times. This will be number 7 and number 8 for her. She's got a height advantage down low. She's got a size advantage down low. You need to take advantage of that as much as possible when you're the ones trailing in the 4th quarter.
Lauren Ware makes the first free throw from the line. The second one is up and hits the bottom of the net, not even touching the rim. Lead is 5 for the Buffaloes. Sherrod bringing it in off the full court pressure from the Wildcats. Spins out, picks up her dribble, and she's in trouble now, but gets it out to Finau. A good pass to Weta. She'll drive in, kicks over. Hollingshed, picked up by Thomas in the dunker spot. Is going to kick it back out to Tudele with 15 on the shot clock. She's looking for someone to pass to, but great ball denial by Pellington. She dribbles to her left, hands off Weta. 8 on the clock. Gives it over to Sherrod. That's Hollingshed. She'll drive to right, 3 seconds on the shot. She's going to have to put up a free throw and hits it. Goes off front of the rim, no good. And they're going to say the ball was tipped. Argument on the floor to see where the ball's going. Arizona is arguing for a shot clock violation to see if it hit the rim. And Colorado is arguing that the ball hit the rim and went out of bounds off an Arizona player.
We can turn up the volume here so you guys can get some insight to what's going on out there. Looks like it was a quick one, and it looks like the referees are trying to decipher if there was a tip or if it's a shot clock violation based on their signals. We'll turn back up the volume to see if we can catch any audio.
They're going to say the ball is staying with the Buffaloes. So Colorado gets a fresh 20. Tudele with it now for the Colorado. Now Hollingshed gives it over to Weta. She'll cross the paint, drives in, throws up a tough layup that goes around the rim and doesn't fall. And she's going to commit a foul trying to fight for her miss. Actually, no, we're going to have an off-ball foul on Hollingshed.
Looks like Hollingshed fouled Lauren Ware right there. And Adia Barnes just said it when we turned up the volume. She just said it, be aware of Hollingshed, be aware of Hollingshed. Well, Ware was more than aware of Hollingshed on that last play.
Ball almost lost and is lost, and here comes Kendall Weta with the steal. She'll go up through contact and finishes, no call, but a nice finish, and the Buffalo lead is back up to 7. 8:40 to play in the ball game. Pellington brings it up on the right side, looking for a screen, kicks out Puello. Puello is picked up by Weta, gives over Pellington. Switched on to by Sherrod. Puello back over on the left side, now back to Pellington on the right. Pellington will try a 3 and hits it. Nothing but nylon for Pellington, and the lead is 4 for the Buffaloes.
That's just their second made 3 of the entire game. U of A 2 of 20 from behind the arc now.
That's not Shayna Pellington's usual shot, but it goes in anyway, and it's a huge shot for Arizona to re-energize their fans in the building and re-energize the team. Hollingshed with the ball, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Finau, who recently checked into the game, has it, kicks over to Weta, 5 seconds, cross-court pass. Sherrod is going to try a 3 of her own from the corner and rattles it home. Puts the 3s up, and Colorado's lead is back to 7.
If you're the Arizona defense there, it looked like, I think that was Coy Love who kept her hand down. It's hand down, man down in games like this.
Thomas with it, gives over to Puello. Now they go inside Lauren Ware, and Ware is going to be fouled by Tudele, a push in the back. Actually, they're going to call the foul on Kendall Weta, and Quay Miller is going to enter the game for Hollingshed. They're going to give Hollingshed a couple of minutes break. Foreman's going to check back in for Colorado for Kendall Weta, and Chavez is going to check in for Puello on the Wildcat side. Chavez to inbound, gives it over to Ware, and Ware's pass is stolen away by Finau. Finau, nice bounce pass back to Finau, goes up strong, can't hit. Rebound tapped around and finds its way into Foreman's hands, and they're going to reset. Colorado blows a golden opportunity to go up 9. Lucky to get the offensive rebound. Great hustle by Foreman. Finau with it on the left wing. Back out, looking for a pass. Gives off Sherrod. Sherrod tries a 3 with Thomas in her face and isn't going to hit anything. A little bit of a heat check from Sherrod with only a couple seconds left on the shot clock.
Arizona still down 7. They're only shooting 26% for the game, and they're only down 7.
Yaney is going to try a drive floater, no good. Lauren gets the rebound and is going to be fouled. She'll be at the line for 2 shots, and Lauren Ware is hyping up her team. She's putting in a lot of effort out there and is trying to get her team to do the same. Coy Love going to come back to the scorer's table for Arizona and is going to take Bindu Yaney's spot on the floor.
Coy Love trying to provide a little bit of more offensive punch for Arizona late in this ball game. Love averages only about 5 points a game, but she was the SEC all-freshman team in 2020. She's a transfer actually from Vanderbilt. Now is her moment to prove that her transfer spot was worth it for Arizona.
Full court pressure off Lauren Ware's 2 made free throws. Ball goes out of bounds off the Wildcats, and the Wildcats continuing to bring the full court pressure. Score 38-33, under 7 to play. Inbound is stolen away. And they're going to say Tudele tapped it out of bounds as Chavez came screaming in and took it away, and they're going to call a foul.
And that's exactly why Taylor Chavez was brought in by Adia Barnes a season ago. The redshirt senior who played for 3 years at the University of Oregon ended up also getting fouled on the play. She's going to the free throw line for arguably 2 of the biggest shots of the entire game.
Arizona's been really good from the free throw line today as they've hit 13 of 14, making it 14 of 15 as Chavez hits the free throw. And gets them both with under 7 to play. Extreme full court pressure now. They go inside, and it's stolen again by Chavez over to Coy Love, and Love puts it in. 1 point game. And a timeout's called by Colorado. And Chavez getting love from her teammates off the bench as she has 2 key steals in the last 30 seconds.
Taylor Chavez, the 2020 Pac-12 6th Woman of the Year, made a Final Four appearance with the University of Oregon in 2019, played alongside Sabrina Ionescu, Satu Sabali, Niara Sabali. She's played with the very best in this conference, and now she's showing why she's one of the best bench players to come out of the Pac-12 for the national champion runner-ups as they fight to maintain their spot in the 2022 Pac-12 tournament.
A 6-point swing in favor of the Wildcats makes the score 38-37 with under 7 to play in the 4th quarter of this Pac-12 women's basketball quarterfinal. Taylor Chavez doesn't even average 2 points a game. Around 1.8 is her average on the season. But 2 incredibly huge plays from her in the backcourt, and Arizona is on fire again, and that's the energy they haven't had this entire second half. Now for Colorado, they had Arizona back off a little bit, and now they're seeing Arizona's fangs come back out. They need to calm down a little bit on this inbound. Maybe try and run a play out of the inbound. Make sure you get this ball past the timeline because you got to get at least a possession out of this to keep momentum.
We've discussed the play of, the play of Taylor Chavez coming in off the bench, right? Former Pac-12 6th Woman of the Year herself. Quay Miller, Pac-12 6th Woman of the Year for 2022. She's been quiet all game long. If there was ever a time for her to step up, Walker, it'd be right now.
She hasn't seen too much of the floor. She only got 13 minutes on the game. That's below her average. But there's still 6 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. We'll see a good amount of her. And one thing that I want to mention out is Lauren Ware, who started that 6-point run. Arizona scored 6 points in 7 seconds before this timeout, and that was all by Lauren Ware. Goes up, gets a tough foul, and meets her team, huddles with her team, and is screaming at them to get up and get loud and bring the energy, and Chavez answered. 1 point game, both these teams meeting in a timeout called by Colorado. And this game has been back and forth. Colorado has had control of this second half up until this point. They've led for a majority of the time.
I mean, the entire Pac-12 tournament so far has been a game of runs. Yesterday against Washington, Colorado struggled early, and then they came roaring back and ended up winning by about 12. Yesterday, Arizona State was down by as many as 18 to Oregon State, came roaring back at the very end of the game in the same way that Arizona has come back against Colorado right now.
ASU almost came back from 15 points down to Oregon State yesterday. And the team from Tucson is trying to capture that magic and finish it off. Colorado to inbound under the full court pressure of Arizona. Tudele to look for the inbound, and it's going to be thrown directly out of bounds. Arizona's going to get the ball back with a chance to take the lead. Wheels coming off the wagons for the Buffaloes.
Peanut Tudele doing exactly what her coach does not want her to do, coming out of the timeout. Commits a turnover, doesn't even allow one of her teammates a chance to catch the basketball.
It's like Colorado has just started to freeze on these inbound plays. Pellington has it with 20 seconds on the shot clock. She'll drive to her left, forced back out by Weta. Gives it over to Puello. She thinks about it. Good pump fake, goes now inside. That's Coy Love, who goes up. Nice reverse finish, and Arizona takes the lead. 39-38 with 6.5 to play. Hollingshed gets the ball inbounded to Sherrod, and Sherrod crosses the timeline. Feels like it's been a year since Colorado's been able to run a play in their own half.
In reality, it's been 26 seconds. 8-0 run in 26 seconds for U of A to take the 1 point lead.
And the ball is almost thrown away, and we're going to have a foul called on Pellington as she was hustling to beat Tudele to the ball. And a little bit of a hip check there, and a chance for Colorado to reset on their own side. That's only Arizona's first foul of the quarter, while Colorado has already put Arizona in the bonus.
Give Adia Barnes credit for forcing her girls to lock in defensively.
And Finau throws the ball away, intended for Sherrod. Pellington goes up and lays it in. A 10-0 run in the last minute for Arizona. 41-38, under 6 to play. Weta inbounds the ball, gets it to Tudele, looking for Finau on the fast break. She'll pack out on the mid-range. She's going to reset, looking for someone to pass to. Gives it over to Weta, 20 on the shot clock. Tudele on the right corner, gives back to Weta on the wing. Looking for Hollingshed inside. Good ball denial by Sam Thomas. Hollingshed comes out to get it. Sam Thomas with a man up, and we're going to have an off-ball charge called on Tudele. Another turnover by Colorado.
Once again, the person behind that charge call was redshirt senior Taylor Chavez. That's her third consecutive play where she caused a turnover on behalf of the Colorado Buffaloes.
Arizona has hit a gear I haven't seen them hit. It's a similar situation to when they played ASU a couple weeks ago back in Tempe. ASU was leading as Coy Love hoists a three, and that hits nothing and goes out of bounds. But ASU led that game by a comfortable 7 points, close just like Colorado. Arizona comes storming back. ASU is able to pull out that game, but this is a different level of energy that I've seen from Arizona all year.
Adia Barnes consistently calling out diamond play for her team to do full court pressure no matter what.
What a play by Sherrod as she goes from the timeline, drives in and dumps it off for Tudele, who puts it in to finally end the scoring drought. Kicks out Love, goes Thomas. Thomas thought about it, but she's picked up by Weta. Chavez swings over to Pellington with 15 on the shot clock. 1 point game. Pellington drives, kicks Chavez. Chavez a three-point ball off the back iron, no good. Rebound, a long rebound that goes out to Coy Love, and Arizona gets another possession. 41-40 in favor of the Cats. 4:30 to play. Pellington kicks out Chavez. Under 10 on the shot clock. Chavez is going to drive through a double team, and Weta comes up with the steal. She'll push the pace. a 2-on-1 Weta by herself, and she'll wait for her teammate. Goes inside Tudele, and we're going to have a foul on Coy Love as she reached around Tudele for the ball. Arizona's second team foul, still plenty to give. Bindu Yaney's going to check into the game for Pellington. Pellington looking a little confused as she comes to the bench, but both teams will go to the bench as we've hit the final media timeout of the game, and what a game it's been. Wildcats up 41-40 with 4:22 to play. This is Blaze Radio. We'll be right back from Vegas. Welcome back to the Pac-12 Women's Tournament. And we got a tight first quarterfinal game. Arizona has stormed back and is currently leading over Colorado, who led by as much as 8 at one point. Foreman tries a 3 for Colorado, no good. Rebound finds its way into Coy Love's hands, and she'll push it up herself. Love gonna throw a pass. Pass is tipped to Ware. Ware loses the handle in the paint. So now Colorado gets it off the Wildcat turnover. A chance to take the lead. Under 4 to play in the fourth. Kendall Wett on the right side gives over Hollingshed. We haven't seen too much of Colorado's best player tonight. A good pass inside, and Foreman retakes the lead. What a find by Kendall Wetta. Kendall Wetta has been an excellent passer tonight for Colorado, and the Buffs now lead 42-41, and we're going to have a Wildcat timeout. 3:35 to play in the fourth quarter.
Adia Barnes more than likely calling this timeout to do a really set offensive play. I wouldn't be surprised at all if she tries to go some kind of pick and roll between Shayna Pellington and Lauren Ware. Lauren Ware this evening, 15 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Ware has been absolutely dominant at this game and done a fantastic job in the second half of managing her foul trouble. She had 3 fouls going into halftime, and Ware's found a way to stay on the court, stay consistent, and be the main offensive punch her team is needed.
And one thing I'm kind of curious, Colorado hasn't been testing Lauren Ware in the post. It's been a lot of drive kick shots that led to their lead, but they haven't put a lot of pressure on Ware to try and maybe foul out of a situation as the inbound goes to Pellington, who's immediately harassed by Sherrod and Weta. She dribbles around and gets out of it. Picked up by Kendall Weta, and the zone resets for Colorado. 15 on the shot clock. Buffalo's up 1. Pellington looking for a pass. Hands it off to Puello. Excuse me, that's Chavez. Chavez going around Sherrod. She falls, gives it over to Ware. Ware inside. A good pump fake. Rejected by Tudele. And the ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay on this end. 1 second on the shot clock. What a play by Tudele.
Lauren Ware clocks in at 6'5". Pina Tudele clocks in at just 6'1".
Inbound goes in, and they're not able to get a shot off as Ware had to pass it out to Chavez, who couldn't get the shot up. Great defense from Colorado. And Colorado's starting to pick up the energy again and match in Arizona. Full court press from the Cats. Pass almost stolen away, but gets it into Sherrod. She'll push the pace quickly. Has a couple trailers. Goes out to the right wing and slows down. 3 to play. Buffs up 1. Sherrod picks up her dribble on the right wing. Looking for a pass. Sam Thomas harassing. And that's going to force Coach Payne to call a timeout. 2:59 to play. Score 42-41. Colorado trying to pull off an upset. The first upset of this Pac-12 tournament. All favorites won in the first round yesterday. Colorado seeded at number 5. Arizona seeded at number 4. Trying to pull off the upset. Arizona did not have a game yesterday, so this is their first game of the weekend in Vegas. Only a 30-second timeout, so both teams are coming back onto the floor. Colorado with a 20-second shot clock.
Throughout this game offensively, it's been ugly for both teams. Colorado has 19 turnovers, Arizona has 15. Both teams are shooting below 35% from the field.
Sherrod gets the inbound, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Foreman recently checks in, has the ball on the right wing, being guarded by Thomas, gives it in. Hollingshed kicks back out, a 3 for Tudele. Can't get it off the back iron. Rebound on the ground, bodies hit the floor. Ball still not caught by anyone, and it's corralled by Lauren Ware at half court. And now out to Coy Love, and they're going to reset. 2.5 to play in the ball game. Arizona down 1 with the ball. Pellington dribbles to the right side, picked up by Kendall Weta, swings out Coy Love. A no-look pass inside to Ware, and Ware gets it rejected by Tudele again.
Pina Tudele giving up 4 inches on Lauren Ware, and it doesn't matter a bit as Tudele gets her second consecutive block shot on the big woman.
The zone in full effect, but a turnover almost taken away by Pellington, but great hustle by Sherrod. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Foreman, a 3 from the corner. Bang! Frida Foreman, 4-point lead for Colorado. Under 2 to play.
Adia Barnes visibly frustrated after that last almost turnover by Arizona.
Pellington's going to try a straight-on 3. No good. Rebound by Hollingshed, but she and Tudele got hit hard. No foul call on the floor, and Coy Love can't get the easy layup. Ball still on the floor. Love gets her own miss, but we're going to have an official timeout as Tudele is slow to get up on the play.
Pina Tudele, only 6 points, 1 for 7 from the field, but she's got 2 blocked shots, both of them coming on 6'5" sophomore Pac-12 honorable mention player a year ago, Lauren Ware. Give her credit where credit is due. She's shaken up right now, and rightfully so. She's given every ounce of her heart and soul to pull off what might be the biggest upset of the Pac-12 tournament.
Hollingshed and Tudele went up hard for the same rebound. Tudele still in there, shaking it off. Arizona's going to keep the ball with 20 seconds on the shot clock, 1:34 on the game clock. Buffalo's up by 4. Inbound to Coy Love, and Pellington has it at the top of the key, gives off Sam Thomas. Both shading over. Coy Love on the elbow, has an open shot, pump fake, goes about 8 feet from the basket, goes off the back iron, no good, and that one's going to hurt for Coy Love. Couple of key missed shots by her, and Colorado with the ball. 1:15 left in the game. Kendall Weta splits a double team, gives back out Sherrod, and Sherrod's going to slow it down. Under 20 on the shot clock, guarded by Pellington, and she's going to take her sweet time as the clock hits a minute left in the game, and we're going to have a foul called on Lauren Ware as she was playing aggressively, going for the steal. Off the handoff, a fresh 20 for Colorado and more time to burn clock. A little bit of mistake from Lauren Ware. She hasn't had a lot of those tonight. Foreman inbounds to Weta. Weta gives back out Sherrod, and it's going to be a jump ball. Great tie-up by Pellington. The possession arrow favoring Colorado, but still a great play. Right at a minute to play in this first quarterfinal matchup, Colorado leads 45-41 with the ball. Foreman looking to inbound, gives it off Sherrod. In the corner, gets double teamed, and it's stolen away. Who else? It's Chavez who comes up with the steal. Pellington pushing the pace, goes up through contact, can't get it, but a foul. It's going to be called on Hollingshed.
Chance to make it a one-possession game. Give Taylor Chavez every ounce of credit in the world. Her shot's not falling, but it doesn't matter for the redshirt senior. She's got 2 assists. She's got 3 steals. She's been all over the Buffalo's offense defensively.
What a quarter of runs this one has been. As Pellington hits the first free throw, that's Arizona's first point in 5 minutes. The lead is 3 now for Colorado. Make it 2. Pellington hits them both perfectly from the line. 52.3 left to play. Full court pressure on Colorado. They get it into Sherrod. A little bit of a breakdown. Sherrod pushing the pace. Almost loses the ball, but we're going to have a reach in on Pellington. That's going to be Pellington's 4th foul. Actually, no, I believe they're going to call that foul on Sam Thomas. I can't quite tell who they gave it to. But Pellington's got to be careful. She's playing on 4 fouls, as well as Coy Love is on 4. Coy Love, Lauren Ware, and Pellington all on 4 fouls. 40 seconds to go. Colorado with the ball up 2. Weta with it at the timeline. Burning clock, 15 on the shot clock. 30 seconds left in the game now. Weta still looking, gives it over to Tudele. Handoff back to Weta. Weta gives back out Tudele, swings to the right side. Foreman loses the handle, but Weta's there. 3 seconds, fires a 30-footer, hits the back of the backboard, no good. 20 seconds now. Arizona with the ball, down 2. Shot clock turned off, and we're going to have a timeout called by Arizona.
That's Adia Barnes' final timeout of the game. 15 seconds left. Shot clock will be completely off. If you're Arizona here, Walker, are you going for the tie or for the win?
It doesn't really matter what you go for. You get the best shot you can get. You cannot have someone force something. This zone has bothered Colorado all afternoon. You got to just pass the ball around, get a quick drive. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Lauren Ware on a post up to a kick out, or we just see everyone clear out for Pellington. Pellington hasn't had a great day herself, however. She's only 3 for 7 with 9 points.
Pellington does do a great job, though, of getting to the free throw line. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if they go 4-man high across the free throw line, have Pellington just have the basketball, have Ware set a really strong screen, go pick and roll action between the 2 of them, hope they can either get to the basket and get a bucket or get a foul call and get to the line.
Thomas to inbound. 15 seconds on the game clock. Colorado leads by 2. The Wildcats with the ball. Arizona trying to avoid the quarterfinal upset. Pellington gets the ball. He has on the right side, drives inside, cutting a double team, looking for someone to pass out to. 8 seconds. Coy Love goes up through contact, can't get it. Rebound tapped around. Weta comes up with it, and we're going to have a timeout called with 4.2 left by Colorado, and Colorado's looking to pull this one off.
Coy Love visibly frustrated after missing a very close layup. Granted, she had about 6 hands in her face on the side of Colorado, but she missed a layup, just hitting backboard, not even getting rim that close to the basket.
A crucial miss by Coy Love, and now the situation looks dire for Arizona. They had the look they wanted. Coy Love has missed a couple late here that have been crucial as Colorado leads by 2, and they now have the ball, and a smart timeout by head coach J.R. Payne to set up an inbounds play for Colorado off the Kendall Weta rebound. This Arizona team had a really good fourth quarter, but Colorado, an incredible way to match the energy as they came storming back from Arizona's comeback when they went up 2 with about 5 minutes to play in the game, and have held Arizona 0 of their last 8 field goals for the last 6 minutes of play.
Give Colorado credit in this one. Many people had penned in, not penciled in, but penned in to the semifinals, Arizona, Stanford, and Oregon. Colorado comes in on the first game of the quarterfinals. Back-to-back days, they're playing on neutral ground. They're saying this is our house. The Buffaloes are going to the semifinals, not the Wildcats. Give credit where credit is due.
They're 4.2 seconds away from headed to the semis against the winner of Stanford and Oregon State. Tudele inbounds, and the ball taken away by Arizona, and we're going to have a timeout called by the Wildcats, and they'll have 2.0 seconds to try and tie or win the game.
I don't know if Adia Barnes had one more timeout. She had one more timeout she was able to use.
The officials are discussing to make sure that this isn't a Chris Webber situation.
It looks like Adia Barnes had one more timeout to use.
They are. I believe they are going to give the timeout.
Yeah,
and the officials point in the direction of Arizona. So Lauren Ware comes up with the inbound steal intended for Hollingshed. A quick timeout. And Arizona's going to have a second chance to tie or win the game. But the officials are going to come over and try and reset and make sure the clock is set correctly.
We'll tune in right now to see what we can pick up from them.
I got it.
Officials holding conference now at midcourt. I believe they're not going to change any time on the clock.
Yeah, they're trying to decide, I think, where time on the clock should be, and they're also trying to decide where the ball should be taken out of bounds. And I think they just pointed over on the sidelines of Arizona. So Arizona will have ball advance into the front court, which is huge considering they only have 2 seconds to get a shot up.
2.0. Colorado leads 45-43. Arizona with the ball. Chavez to inbound it. Coy Love, Lauren Ware, Pellington in the game as well. Inbound Pellington. Pellington fires up a 3. No good. And Colorado has upset the 4-seeded Arizona Wildcats.
What an upset by the Colorado Buffaloes. They were down yesterday against the 12-seed Washington, and they made it happen. Within 24 hours, they went from being eliminated possibly in the first round to now they're in the semifinals of the Pac-12 tournament and more than likely on their way to the NCAA tournament in under a week.
Colorado upsets 4-seeded Arizona, and they're waving at their band. It's loud here in Michelob Ultra Arena. The first upset in the Pac-12 women's basketball tournament. Your final score, 54-52 Buffaloes. Thank you guys for tuning in. The next game will be Stanford versus Oregon State. For Gabby Ducharme, I'm Walker Smith. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys later this afternoon.